You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Halt and Catch Fire After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Halt and Catch Fire After Show.
Hello, Halt and Catch Fire fans. Welcome to episode 109 of Halt and Catch Fire. Is there something up with the audio, or is it just me?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, a little something on the mics there. But in any case, it's a show about computers. There's always going to be some issues with computers. Couple of bugs. I'm Matt Lieberman, and joining me, of course, as always, the fantastic panel. Jessie Klein's here.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
Yael Tygiel's here.
Hi, everybody.
And Isaac Johnson's here.
Hola.
Yeah. So we're talking about episode 9, Up Helly, which is named after the festival that Joe talks about in the car, where they burn that ship. The winners get to burn a ship
To the ground.
To the ground. And we're like, yeah! I love this scene. I love a lot about this episode. I was pretty surprised when the big twist happened.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anyone saw it coming, and we're all pretty bummed about it. I was so happy with the trajectory of how things were going, and everyone working together, and like Gordon and Donna reconnecting, and I'm like, oh, I really like Gordon finally, and everything's gonna be great. I mean, of course you gotta throw a wrench into things, but god damn it, did they have to throw that wrench?
It was a big wrench.
It's a big wrench, a big Brian-shaped wrench.
I was shouting at the TV.
Yeah.
I was
Hunt
shouting
and
at
Brian.
Finley.
Hunt and Brian.
Hunt.
Brian.
Yeah, sounds like a terrible, boring morning show.
I hate that
Welcome back
show.
to Hunt and Brian in the morning, being
We're hunting,
dicks.
we're hunting Brian.
I think it sounds like a pretty decent radio show.
No,
Personally.
don't like it. Yeah.
Oh.
No, I guess that was the radio. So yeah, we start in this car ride. They're zooming towards Las Vegas, eating burgers. Donna's driving because she's the responsible one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cameron's getting ketchup all over Joe's notes.
Why is Cameron in the front seat like the problem child?
Cause airbags.
Maybe Donna needed to keep her eyes on her.
Maybe.
That might be it. Yeah.
Unruly. I don't think there were airbags back then either.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
I don't.
They just,
I could just be so
'cause
wrong.
Yeah.
Joe just like took up the whole back seat. Like, I need all this space.
Yeah, I think it was mostly because Joe needed a place to write down his like copious notes for his speech that he was going to give. His amazing speech.
It's amazing speech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've never seen them put one together before.
Yeah.
That's sort of interesting.
This was the process.
Yeah.
He's used to writing a speech in his bare apartment where
Yeah.
there's nothing.
Yeah.
So he had to try and recreate that.
All right, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
he had to recreate the experience. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Yeah. So they get to the hotel, and Joe suavely goes up to the desk, and he's like, "Hey, we've got a 3-bedroom suite, Cardiff Electric." And the guy's like, "Oh yes, sir, feel at your Cardiff Electric."
What?
Yeah, let me check with my manager. And of course, major roadblock. They gave the suite away because they couldn't pay for it. So what do we do now? Gordon comes up with the answer.
Genius.
Action
Genius.
Gordon.
I love Action
Action
Gordon.
Gordon,
Action
yeah.
Gordon's the best.
Yeah.
Where he's
Joe,
like,
put on your best blue suit. We got to get out of here. It would have been cooler if
Donna,
I could have gotten that out.
yeah. Take this
Excuse
money.
me.
I don't care how you do it. Just
Full
get
of
us a
gin.
booth.
This is just
Yeah.
full of gin.
Turn towards camera. We're like, yeah.
Action Gordon.
Action Gordon. So he remembers from the last time he was at Comdex, these two brothers who put on a terrible presentation and trusts that they're about to do the same, and they do. They've got this
It's the occasion master.
the Occasion
Occasion
Master,
Master.
specialty printer for printing out invitations to your special occasions. How much does it cost? $900. $900.
Well, how fast is it?
it will print one invitation every 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, but why would I do that when I can just write it out by hand myself? I don't
Because of the graphics. We got balloons and sparkles.
Anything from bachelor parties to birthdays.
Yeah, anything from
Sure,
bachelor
we'll
parties.
fire it up. Let's see how fast it is.
I love this delivery. They cast it so well. Of like anything from bachelor parties to birthdays, like with like an arm raise, like a rehearsed arm raise.
Take it away, Peter.
Yeah. And Gordon just rips them to shreds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I like that.
he's got Joe in the background in his blue suit. And as soon as he brings up IBM, everybody in the room is kind of like a buzz a little bit. He's like,
Yeah.
where'd you hear that? And he just glances back at Joe, who gets the game. And then he just so skillfully and just kind of evilly talks them out of their suite.
I like the way that Gordon came up with that plan, doesn't tell Joe, and then Joe sees what's happening. He looks pretty proud of Gordon.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I've treated you well.
It's a Joe-esque plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful.
There's a lot of synergy going on in this episode. There's
Lot
a
of synergy.
like people playing to their best strengths in this
Yeah.
episode.
and working together.
Yeah.
Working together.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this was my favorite episode.
Yeah.
All-time favorite.
Hands down.
Yeah.
It's a good episode.
Of any
Yeah.
TV show ever?
No, this show.
Oh.
Yeah.
Please.
Ponies.
I was
There
just
wasn't
asking,
enough nudity to
just in
be
case.
my favorite episode of any
It's true.
TV show ever.
Yeah. I mean, we did get some hot Gordon Donna sext action. Some of the first sexts in history.
Yeah.
Quite possibly the first
Yeah.
text.
Yeah. Well, as Jessie said when we were watching, you put a keyboard and a screen in front of anyone, eventually it will be used
Within
for
5
sexting.
hours.
Oh, yeah.
Within 5 hours.
Yeah.
Of course.
So he talks them out of the room. I love the line like, of course we'll pay for it full freight. We wouldn't want to screw you guys. Yeah.
And like, oh, what about the catering?
Yeah, we got this whole spread. You'd have to eat that cost too. All those shrimp. And I just love Joe's face light up. Shrimp. Yeah. And so they get the room, and it's like very like beautifully period.
Yeah.
This suite, and they've got the massive shrimp tower, but the computer won't turn on. The giant won't turn on for some reason. They can't figure it out. They need a static-free environment, so they convert the bedroom into a workstation. And Joe is getting tense about this. Even before that, we've got Cameron and Donna on the floor. They could only get a small booth off to the side, and they're trying to figure out what to do with it. And Donna and Cameron come across booth babes for the very first time,
Yeah.
or Cameron
Booth
does
babes.
in any case.
Yeah.
And it turns out that they're not just models, they're porn stars, actual porn stars, because there's a porn convention just next door, because Silicon Valley types, they don't gamble. They just, they pay for what they want.
So, just so everyone knows, there is a convention that happens in Vegas every year called CES, and
Yeah.
next door to it is always the porn convention. It is actually, this is a thing that happens every year.
It's smart. It's smart.
Genius. And so I was so excited to be like, that's real.
Yeah.
I've seen this. It's wonderful. It's genius.
Okay, it's synergy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More synergy.
More synergy.
Yeah. Put
Always
those nerds
more.
next to the porn and see people spend money.
It's true.
Yeah.
So Cameron takes over the design of the booth, and she goes full on punk rock with it, and it's awesome.
It's really cool.
Yeah, there is a giant in this briefcase, and then it just lists the suite number, and it's just very dramatic. It's very loud without having to be there.
Yeah.
It stands out, and they get a huge reception. All these people showing up to the suite, including some boys from Xerox who are doing some very interesting research, and they're talking about things that we even use today, like hypertext. And this guy is like coaxing her, come out to Palo Alto, it'll be a good time, and she's putting up a fight. I largely assume, because of Joe and the attachment that they have. And we see that come into play over the course of this episode. I love this moment later in the episode where he grabs her hand and holds it and doesn't just want her to be around, needs her really.
Well, even before that, when she's talking to him about going out to Silicon Valley, and Joe says like, "Yeah, you might want to go," and then she says, "Yeah, we could." Like she turns the "you" into a "we."
Yeah.
Aww.
Adorable.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So at the party, people are getting antsy. Where's this computer? What's going on? They still can't get it to turn on. And Joe makes this big bet he's got to bluff. We're in Vegas. It's time to bluff. He takes the computer unfinished and he takes it into the room to cheers and adulation, and he sets it up and it looks gorgeous. And he's like, you want to see me turn it on? And they're like, yeah. And he's like, but wait just a second. They're like, and a dude, I think
the exact same speech is happening in the porn convention at the exact same time.
Yeah,
quite possibly.
Probably.
It's like Joe's like BS speech finally comes into play.
Yeah.
And none of these people know his old tricks.
Yeah.
He's in there just selling. And you're like, oh, that's why he did it, so they could set this up.
This is his like playground. This is where Joe's at home, like just convincing a bunch of people to listen to him. Yeah,
I love it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And he kind of sidesteps. He introduces this idea of like, well, we also have some special guests here. Besides this computer, we got 4 Cardiff Electric VIPs straight from the cinema, which is just
cinema?
just dripping with sleaze.
Yeah, sure.
Straight from the cinema.
Were these the days when you had to go to a cinema to see this kind of thing?
I think by and large, yeah.
I think you had to.
VHS
There might be
was
some VHS.
VHS and Beta were, I think, still in their infancy if they were around at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
he wasn't lying.
So you had to go to a public place and hang out with your friends,
Watch
watch an old adult movie. You know, simpler times now. Lithographs or a daguerreotype, even further back.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
So, once he's mentioned these porn stars, these guys are no longer interested in the computer. He's like, all right, I'll show you these porn stars before we turn on the computer. If you come down to the booth tomorrow hungover, wrung out, and everyone's loving it, and then these porn stars come in, and like Donna and Gordon are loving it, and everybody's just having a blast.
Yeah.
Joe then starts talking to this guy from Computerland who's like, hey man, you know, like, if this thing really is what you say it is, I'll be placing an order. And he's like, well, why? He's like, well, do you ever sell cars? And he pulls off his shoe.
Yeah, really.
And Joe's like,
he like flexes his foot
yeah.
in front of
Joe's
him
like,
and was like,
no. Yeah.
Everyone was out folksing Joe at every corner. Like,
I thought he was going to be like, man, my dogs are barking or something like that. I was like, what's with this guy with the shoe?
You ever sell cars?
Yeah. Well, if you want to sell some station wagons, you gotta have a sports car in the window. Nice to think of themselves as a sports car.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Well, I think with the OS...
Action, Gordon. Booth getting action. Steven just made this wonderful graphic,
Well done.
which you can only see if you are watching the show on YouTube, but it's beautiful.
It's pretty well
It is
done.
amazing.
But I think... I lost whatever I was
That's
saying
okay,
there.
pal.
Action Gordon really distracted me.
Yeah, because it was the best. So as the party winds down, Joe goes back into the bedroom and finds Donna and Gordon, and they fix the computer. They turn it on and it boots up and like, oh, great.
The giant.
Yeah. And the computer asks, what is your name? And Donna types in, thank God. Hello, thank God. What would you like to do? She types something. She tilts it to Gordon. And Gordon's like, oh, well, we haven't done that since our honeymoon. And then he types something. She's like, oh, I haven't done that since college.
Hey, with who? Who have you done it with? Who'd you do it with in college?
And I imagine...
what do you imagine?
Well, no, I imagine
What do you think
that
they were
she,
typing?
I imagine that she typed back, does it matter if we, like, start right now? Or something along those lines. And he's like,
I think
Yeah.
it was. I think, the first thing that Gordon typed was holding hands, and then she said a quick peck on the cheek. That's what my assumption is.
Oh,
anything
brother.
else?
interesting
That's
interesting
interesting.
take.
I definitely thought that the first type was a back rub.
Okay, yeah.
And then the
too
second,
too racy for
right.
me already.
And then the second one was sleep.
Well, anyway, Joe's asleep behind them,
since college.
so they go get a room to themselves, and they have this great scene where they reconnect.
Yeah.
And you know, they're finally kind of like happy where they are, and
Gordon finally apologizes.
he finally
for not including
apologizes
her
for
with
being a
it.
jerk,
Yeah.
and she finally comes out and says, "You should have given me credit."
Yeah.
Yeah, or should have at least asked me. You know,
Yeah.
'cause his assumption is that she doesn't want to come to the what did she?
Yeah, to the zoo, to the circus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, "You're right, but
You should have asked.
You should have asked me.
Yeah.
And the whole story about jumping I thought was really interesting and sweet because she has been jumping with him this entire time. Like anytime anyone ever brings up Gordon, she's always backed him up 100% of the time and talked about how much she believes in him and how much like she is behind him 100%. And like, so Gordon didn't even realize, but she had already jumped with him this entire time.
The performances were great this week, and I feel
so good.
I feel like sometimes this show is like has so much kind of, I don't know. I feel like the acting is so natural that we don't give it enough credit.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I mean, like Joe, we do just because like it's kind of that richer character. But like Scoot McNairy and Kerry Bishé are just so excellent.
They're killing it.
Excellent at what they do.
And Cameron is doing I don't remember the actress's name.
Mackenzie Davis.
Yeah, but she killed it in this episode as well. Even she had a lot of scenes where she wasn't saying anything and just kind of reacting to things. And she was murdering it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, before we continue, I just want to mention iTunes real fast. Folks, we only have 1 week left of this podcast. It's a real bummer. Hopefully we will get a second season. But, you know, in the meantime, go to iTunes, rate and review the show. Any shows that you watch or listen to on AfterBuzz TV. It really helps us out, and it's your only way to tell us how we're doing. Do you like the show? Is there something we could be doing better? You know, too many jokes, not enough jokes? Let us know. So, yeah, give us a rating. We love 5-star ratings. It helps us get sponsors and guests on the show. We really appreciate your support. All right, so oh yeah, we got a review. We got a review from Big Kahuna Luna. Just a correction. So I don't know that this is something that we got wrong last week, but maybe we did. They're correcting us that IBM's headquarters is located in multiple locations in upstate New York. I feel like we've always said that it was in New York, but maybe we said differently last week. My bet was Joe went to see Dad in Poughkeepsie, roughly 200 miles north of NYC. Yeah.
It's quite possible.
Yeah.
Because we were discussing how fast it was that he went.
Yeah.
Okay.
It seemed really fast.
It seems real fast.
Yeah. Especially for somebody who apparently has no money outside of his car to be able to take some serious flights. Yeah. In any case. So Cameron comes to see Joe. He's still passed out, and she drops a chunk of the Hoover Dam, which I guess she just carries around with her in her rucksack.
I think she went.
They went to the Hoover Dam.
They went to the Hoover Dam.
It's right next
with the Xerox
to
boys.
Oh, okay, that's where they went.
Outside of Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they went to the Hoover Dam.
They went
with the
to
Xerox
they
boys.
went to go get pancakes and watch the sun come up.
And I think they watched the sun come up over the Hoover Dam.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know where the Hoover Dam is.
It's right outside
Just right
Vegas.
next to Las Vegas.
My issue was, you don't take parts of the Hoover Dam. There's a reason. There was a reason that the Hoover Dam is there. You take parts out, and it will just crumble.
Yeah.
It is a Hoover Dam.
I'm betting like it's from like just like some cement nearby.
Yeah, it's probably not a real chunk.
Okay, because it was a big chunk.
It was a softball-sized chunk.
The dam cannot.
Speed softball size, like a speedball, speed pitch.
Huh?
Speech
I-
pitch.
Whatever.
Speed
Not a-
softball.
Not a
That's
slow
not a
pitch? Okay.
Whatever. I was worried about the dam.
In any case.
I wouldn't be too worried about the dam.
In any
There's a
case.
sub-story where Vegas is
Yeah.
flooding.
Yeah.
You want yourself some damn cement, you get yourself some damn cement.
Joe is a little huffy over the fact that Cameron was spending time with Xerox
thought
guy
he was
last
do it.
night, but he can't bring himself to say it. He was noticing it, and I think it upset him because it reminded him of A, their age difference.
Big difference.
Big difference, and of the fact that she's got so much potential and that he might be holding her back.
Yeah.
So he's also, I think, afraid of his feelings for her. So he takes this moment to kind of push her away a little bit. When he says, you know, you should go to Palo Alto, that would be good for you. They're doing amazing research out there.
Yeah.
And she's like, we could go. And she's hurt by the fact that he's pushing her away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a defensive push. Like he's like, get away before you hurt me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they go down to the convention floor, and apparently they've seen a lot of cool stuff. HP's touchscreen, what a fad. It's
not gonna
never going to
last.
catch on.
Gonna last.
Yeah.
Touchscreens.
Windows, so full of bugs. Terrible.
Never gonna catch on.
Horrible.
Bravo.
Yeah. And they're getting ready for their presentation. It's 10 minutes away when Joe says, "Ooh, somebody's hot," because he hears some applause, and they go to see what the presentation is, and it's Hunt presenting a effing giant clone called the Slingshot with Brian.
Not even a cool name.
Not even a cool name in the boring beige plastic that they had eschewed for the better design, with all of the personality taken out. Just a horrible, disgusting copy.
Hunt and Brian.
Hunt and Brian.
Really didn't want to call him Hunt this week.
Yeah, I was.
I see what you're doing there.
Yeah.
The letter swap on that
Yes.
first letter.
I was really.
Thanks.
You wanted to call him Ant.
Yep.
You wanted to call him...
I'm going to call him Gather.
Hunk? Is that what the name you wanted to call him? Is that the letter swap?
I was real upset. I'm not gonna lie. You guys were with me when I was watching. I was like, no,
Yeah.
no.
Because just like
Real
we
punch in
came
the
this
gut.
far.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and I thought, too, we're getting towards the end of the series. Like, okay,
How we
finally,
gonna go
they've
out?
had all these obstacles. They're finally going to get past it. Here we go, and...
How are we gonna pull this out?
I loved him until this moment.
Hunt.
Yes.
Hunt?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked
Because
him.
we thought that he was like this
a
guy
sweet
who
guy.
totally appreciated and like saw Donna as an equal and was conflicted about his feelings romantically with her. But now it appears
was
that when he was
conflicted.
outside the
When he was
house,
at the house,
he was
yeah.
debating whether or not to confess to what he really was up to.
Tell
He was
her-
just
yeah.
pumping her for
Being
information.
A total
Well, he didn't pump her
Hunt.
for anything.
Tell
It
her
was
that
just a kiss.
Comdex was a trap.
Yeah.
Basically, I think he was out there to be like, Comdex is a trap. Don't do it. And also in that scene, Donna looks up and she looks, and then there's Brian right
Yeah.
there. She's surrounded by enemies in that scene, and she doesn't even know it. And Brian just like, hey, neighbor.
Oh no, he wasn't even there. He wasn't even outside the house to see her. He was outside the house because he had just gone to see Brian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Some great writing, man. I did not see any of this. What a great setup, man.
Yeah,
Which, what if that colors everything? Because what if when Brian went to Gordon's house, it wasn't to go crazy and kill somebody? He was going there to do
steal.
corporate espionage, and he brought the gun just in case someone caught him.
Yeah.
I think
Could've
that
been,
was
yeah.
before Hunt was on the case, though. I think Hunt got, as soon as he got the specs from the facts, I
Right.
think
Yeah.
that's when Hunt decided to go with this.
Yeah. Well, we did talk about that, Donna giving him so much information about it. Oh, is he going to use that against her?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
and then he quit Texas Instruments because not because he felt bad about Donna, but because he had all of his eggs in this slingshot basket.
Yeah.
Hunt.
A-hole.
What a Hunt.
I know, exactly.
And I was still ready to be okay with him until he had that conversation with Joe. And I
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
oh, this guy's mean.
He's scum.
He's scum.
Yeah, so obviously everyone's really upset. Donna throws herself at him like, you son of a bee.
I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, I'm
Which I
gonna
was like,
kill you. And yeah, so they have to pull her off of him.
Brian's all smug.
Yeah, I hate Brian.
Brian.
And they go back up to the suite, and Cameron and Joe are like, how could this happen? Must be corporate espionage. We have to check everything. And Gordon shuts them out of the suite. It's just him and Donna. And she's like, look, I don't know how it happened. It must have been that fax, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, are you sleeping with him? Which, like,
Where did that
Gordon,
come from?
Gordon, like, you've come so far, Gordon.
Yeah.
And the first thing you jump to after you and your wife finally connecting is that she must be having an affair and had given this to him to hurt you or something.
I actually interpreted it differently, where it was like he didn't really care about the fact that the computer had been stolen. He was more worried about his relationship with Donna. Like he didn't ask her about any of the specifics of how the information got to Hunt, or if she'd been giving him secrets or been bringing it to work. He was more worried that she had become more close with Hunt than she was with him.
Yeah, maybe the way she went after him or something like that. He just thought, like,
Yeah.
is there another level to this other than the betrayal?
Yeah.
Right, there was another
Yeah.
level.
There
Yeah,
was,
and she
which-
quickly
which
admits
she-
to it.
Which she quickly admits to, which I thought was great, because I thought it was gonna be like something that Hunt was gonna come back and like wave in his face or something like that.
Or it just like, I'm only imagining Brian doing it because Brian has a mustache to
yeah,
twirl.
sure, yeah.
Yeah. But
But we finally get the speech that Donna should have given him the entire show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just laying it all down the line, what she's done, what he hasn't done, and it was just like, so good.
It was like
Yeah.
Christmas.
I was just, it was like Christmas, but without presents.
And then Gordon being delusional and saying that like I never gave up on us, which it seems
You
like
did
he did.
give up on me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he definitely made the giant the priority in the
where she
relationship.
says like, you know, you chose the giant over me every time, and I'm just like, go, Donna, get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
Gordon's
he
real
has his hissy
delusional.
fit and sends her out, or she walks out of the room or whatever. I was like,
It was really nice to see such a strong female character who isn't, you know, she isn't
Didn't back
crying
down.
about what's happening. She
Yeah.
isn't like, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. She's like, no, here's what happened. Here's what you did, and here's what we need to deal with.
Yeah.
I love the women on this show.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
real
girl.
good.
Yeah.
Go get it, girls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was that reductive? On top, like we love our strong women. Get it, girls.
No, I was being supportive.
Okay, I know you were. I'm just double checking ourselves.
Yeah, no.
Either way, I'm
Fine,
offended.
don't get it, girls.
Either way, you're offended.
Yeah,
the
either way.
one female on our panel is offended.
Yeah.
maybe.
Always.
I'm sorry
So-
if I offended you, Yael.
Joe comes in after Donna leaves, and he lets him know that
It's dead.
it's dead. Everyone's gonna go for this thing. You know,
Where can you go from here, man?
Yeah, we want it to be unique, but they don't care.
It's faster.
Yeah.
It's coming out.
It's coming
Be on
out
the
soon.
shelves by Christmas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this scene he has with Hunt is just basically like, look, man, I don't know what you want me to say. I mean, you know, by the time that you get to trial, we'll be on our third generation. Here's $2 million in slingshot stock. Why don't you take this number? Oh, is that the number to Nathan Cardiff? Yeah. Why don't you call him up, let him know that your R&D is whole, and yeah, we will strip you for parts, because you lost. I played a better game than you. That's just who I am.
You
I'm
gotta
Hunt.
get there first.
And Joe's like, you stole our dream, basically.
Love that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like the overall message that everyone kind of has in this is that like those guys stole it, and it's got no soul, and like the giant has been bled for this entire season. Like that's like there's so much more background to the giant than the slingshot.
What did Joe say to him too? He said like, you'll never create something.
Yeah.
or something
Yeah,
to that
you'll never
effect.
truly create something.
Yeah, and like that was way more important to him than he could made a faster computer by ripping them off. It's just like you're never gonna like build your own dream, which is the thing that Joe's had with his father the whole
Which,
season.
at the same time, though, you have to appreciate the irony that
little
this
bit.
thing was born out of what was supposed to be an IBM clone, but instead became so much more.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was a really good scene. I thought it also like showed where Hunt's priorities are. He's like the prairie version of Joe's father. Like he's just he's like
Smug businessman.
smug businessman.
He
yeah.
also brings up like what Joe did when he left IBM by like flooding the data center and like,
Yeah.
oh, I looked you up and all that stuff. I wanted Joe to hit him in the face.
Yeah,
I wanted
thought
him
Joe
to
was
get
gonna hit him.
God.
I thought he was. It was like, please hit him in the face, please. Oh.
He went from this character that we liked and we felt for and we really appreciated, and then we see this like skeezy underbelly of.
yeah.
And then when he said that he looked up Joe, all I could think was,
On what?
on what and how is it that no one else could find this information?
Yeah.
And people have been asking for it all season.
True.
And no one else found it but this skeezy jerk, this Hunt.
He's got connections.
Yeah,
he made
with
some
TI.
calls. Yeah.
With Texas Instruments, he must have been able to find some
He
information.
must have had
about him.
some pull. In any case,
Could have Googled it. I don't know.
yeah, Gordon, first thing he does when he hears this news, he grabs a beer, he chugs almost all of it, and then he
Starts
flips
unscrewing.
open the giant and starts unscrewing. And by the time that that Joe returns from this meeting, Cameron meets him in the elevator and they hold hands and we're like, yay.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's a quiet yay because everything's sad right now.
Yeah. At least they have each other.
Yeah. And they enter the suite, and Gordon is crazy.
And he's 6 beers in now.
Yeah.
7, I think.
You know what's the best thing about drinking it? It tastes better when it costs $5. And they're like, "How you feeling, bud?" And he's like, "Well, I stripped out the daughter board and all the extra memory, and it now is way faster and will be $100 cheaper than the slingshot." And Cameron is, of course, horrified that the soul of the machine has been ripped out.
I think everyone's horrified. I think Joe's horrified. I think Gordon is horrified. I think that's why he had to be drunk to do it. It felt like a scene where like they had to sacrifice someone.
It was really, really sad.
Joe's horrified to a certain degree, but at the same time, after he got that speech from Hunt, I think he's like, but I'll still win.
Well, I don't think it's that. Here, what do you think?
I was going to say that in the speech from Hunt, Hunt says to him, it's a compatibility business. It doesn't have to be good, it has to be good enough. And then he comes up, and what does he see is that Gordon made it good enough. And that he can, compete now. And I think that's when he really hated that he had to accept that he had to sell a soulless machine.
True.
Yeah, that's the moment that I think is really crucial
and that's
here.
why he runs after Cameron.
He hated that he has to do it, but he knows that it's the only way, or at least he thinks it's the only way that they can be relevant.
Well, I thought that too, and I sort of I understood where Cameron was coming from, but at the same time, I thought, well, at least you're still going to either have a job or not be dead in the water. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's too practical, but...
Well, for Cameron, she doesn't care.
She doesn't care, obviously, but...
I think further in the episode, what they kind of allude to is that if they'd had a more personal machine, they might still... They might still have been super successful.
Yeah.
I like kind of... Whoa, that was weird.
Yeah.
I like how this kind of reflects on what's going on in today's modern technology, and especially with like Microsoft doing some things, and even Apple doing some things, but less. That when people have a vision of what they want, and it's so far ahead of its time, and they create that, but it's not what people want because it's so far ahead of its time.
And I think Hunt says that. He says, you're ahead of your time. You're way ahead of your time.
Yeah, there's no room in the marketplace for it. People aren't going to care. They care about this.
Thank you for that wisdom from the booth.
Thank you, Stephen Lemieux, our engineer.
Man behind the curtain.
Lemieux. So, Cameron is obviously upset. Gordon and Joe prepared to demo the soulless version of the machine, which is now so much faster and even cheaper than the slingshot. And it's a hard to listen to speech from Joe because it lacks any of the optimism, forced or real, that he has injected a lot of his speeches with this season.
It's battle hardened.
It certainly is, and I think it's too self mostly. I think it's too self mostly. Like, I needed to grow up. It's time for us to stop playing. You want this? You want a dog? Get a dog, or whatever he says.
You want a buddy? Get a dog. This is not your friend. This is your employee.
We did it. We won, like that kind of thing. But he hates himself.
I also thought it was kind of interesting, the hand-holding thing, how it kind of paralleled Joe's mom letting go of his hand and letting him fall. Where he let Cameron fall. Like he let her go, and like her dreams, he let them fall as well.
He says it cost us. He said it cost us people. And really, he's only talking about Cameron.
And John. And John Bosworth.
True.
You gotta get Boz in there.
And Travis.
How's he gonna bowl?
How's he gonna go bowling?
But I like that they have the shot back at Brian. It's just like, how'd you do this? Well, it was better when we fired you.
How'd you fix the heat problem? We were able to do it after we fired you. And also, Gordon, whatever he's feeling towards his wife at the moment, gives her all the credit when they ask who came up with the idea for the chip array.
Maybe
he's
really,
like, my wife, Donna
heard
Clark.
That speech from her, and maybe he's kind of like, oh, maybe I did mess up. Hope so. But
I hope it points towards a reconciliation.
I hope so, because there was such a nice moment seeing them dance at the thing and remember the old times and stuff. And I was just like, they're getting it, and she told them the thing, and then,
And we'll never tell our daughters about the porn stars.
Why would they?
Wonderful. So, the Computerland guy's very impressed. Very impressed with the sales pitch.
Dennis.
And he's like, hey, how about I make you a deal, $60,000 at $900 per. And Joe's like, you can do better than that. And he's like, all right, $70,000. And Joe's like, we'll negotiate tomorrow. Let's talk about these final two scenes before we decide whether or not that was a huge mistake. So they pop the champagne, but it's an empty victory. Warm champagne, alone, sitting in this dim room, bummed, looking at what the machine could have been, holding it in their hands.
Underneath the banner that Cameron had
spray painted
and like added her own touch to.
And she's not there. It feels empty.
Not there,
and Joe goes out for ice, and he sees an open hotel room door, and he walks inside. Lots of whispering, excited whispering.
Yeah.
He walks inside.
I thought we were going to get an eyes wide shut.
I know. Well, I was afraid it was going to be Cameron and Xerox guy, but instead.
Okay, so I wasn't the only one that thought that's what was coming.
No,
it was terrifying.
But that would have been such like a weak sauce ending compared to what we got. I don't like. I mean, granted, I don't think that Cameron is above lashing out at Joe sexually or lashing out in frustration sexually, but to end it in that way, I think would be a lot weaker than what we got, which is that we see them plug in and turn on the original Macintosh, and it's got graphics and a mouse, and it speaks.
Yeah.
And he realizes that you can and should be unique in this business.
Yeah.
And that whatever temporary win they just got, they will be irrelevant.
Yeah.
They will be irrelevant.
They'll be irrelevant.
Just like everybody else. And Cameron was right.
Yeah.
And it's crushing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was breathless when I saw the Macintosh. I'm like, oh man.
Just another one that I was like, Macintosh, I forgot all about them. What?
Yeah.
That mouse, those graphics.
Yeah.
I loved
click.
It was I think the reactions of the people was what really got me, was that they'd never seen anything like this, and it's magic.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were pretty much silent, right?
Yeah, there were a lot of
no drinking and
Xerox
booze
guy was
going
like,
on.
"What's the matter, man?"
It wasn't matter, man. Oh, by the way, you seen that hot blonde at your party?
Because I'd like to get more waffles with her.
Pancakes.
Well, I know, but this is the second date waffles.
Oh, sure. You gotta upgrade.
A Belgian waffle or just a
Belgian? You gotta come on.
Take it to the 3D level.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've dated fellas. That works.
There goes pancakes, waffles, crepes.
All right. So, Isaac, you said you had a bit of news?
I got quite a bit of news.
Oh.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So, since our last show, our good friend Lee Pace has joined the Twitter.
Ooh.
You can follow him at Lee Pace.
done.
Yael Tygiel did not know this. I've scooped her.
Yeah.
Even though she saw him at San Diego Comic-Con.
I did.
Yeah.
And he looked wonderful.
I bet he did.
Yeah.
He is also in a movie coming out on August 1st. I think it's called Guardians of the Galaxy, but I haven't heard much about it.
Yeah.
He plays Ronan the Accuser.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, and also Mackenzie Davis was on did an interview on a website called Refinery29.com. She has a movie coming out called What If, starring Daniel Radcliffe, and that comes out August 8th.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Good news.
All right. Time for predictions.
Ooh. Nope.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Never doubt.
Now,
I always
your
doubt.
AfterBuzz
Never doubt the
TV.
predictions.
Best thing about timing is comedy.
Ha. That's funny.
People don't know this, but Steven is underneath this table.
Yeah.
This is where that's
He's
his
just been rubbing
workstation.
our feet
He just
the
gives
whole
us-
time.
See, now that was great timing. Look
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah. Thank you.
So we have one episode left. What's happening? I mean, there really wasn't much to pull from the scenes from next week, so I don't know if it's really considered a spoiler.
I think so.
Yeah.
They set it up to be real intense.
Yeah. I don't know how they're going to end this season.
Yeah.
It's really, really intense. I mean, here's what I'm thinking. I know that we have to be working towards a Cameron-Joe reconciliation, but I don't know if she'll take him back.
Do we?
I think he wants it.
No, but do you really think that's what we're working towards?
I feel like maybe it's not what we're working towards. It's what I want.
Yeah.
He's gonna try at least.
Yeah.
I think after Joe sees that Mac, he now knows that he bet on the wrong horse,
Sure.
and that he should really go find that original horse and apologize to it.
And marry it.
So they're going to be at the races?
To marry that. Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of gambling. This was
Yeah.
Vegas. They're going to be at the horse track.
Okay. I think
Yeah.
based on the show that we have, I would like to see that, but I don't think they're going to give it to us.
Yeah. I mean, more than that, I'd like to see Gordon and Donna, like, reconcile and just be in love and be happy.
I'm going to go ahead with my
Daughters.
prediction that it's over.
Over for both
Gordon.
couples.
Yeah.
Just at least for Gordon and Donna.
Yeah, I
Unless
agree
somehow he
that's
saved it with, my wife created that thing. I don't think there's enough.
I don't know
to
if that's
save.
saving it, but I think it's enough to merit a conversation.
I think you two are so optimistic.
I don't think it's enough to save it.
I want to believe in love, Yael.
Excuse us, Yael, if we still have magic in our hearts.
Now, I believe in love, but I believe that this show, every time it set us up for something good, it doesn't give it to us.
Stripped it away
So I
and
feel
given
like,
it to Brian.
Why would they give us the storybook thing now?
Brian and Donna get married.
Oh, that sounds terrible. I believe next week everything is just going downhill, and it's going to end with everything ruined always.
Yeah, which is why I want a second season.
Yeah, me too.
Give it to us.
Next week, I think we should drink Cardiff
Cardiff
suggested
cocktails.
by somebody on the iTunes.
On the iTunes. We'll be
was.
drinking Agent Oranges next week.
Yes.
All right. Jessie Klein, where can the people find you?
You can find me at JessKlein1 on Instagram and Twitter. You can also see me on the Marin podcast here and the Defiance podcast.
Okay, and Yael Tygiel.
You can find me online at yell.tv. There you'll find awesome interviews from Comic-Con with some of your favorite stars. So check it out. You can also find me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Google Plus at Yael Tygiel. That's YaelTygiel.
And Isaac Johnson.
You can find me on Twitter at Isaac Johnson, Instagram The Isaac Johnson. You can check out my album on iTunes called All the Things We Are.
All right, and if you want to find me on Twitter, you can follow me at Matt Lieberman. That's MattLieberman. You can find all my videos for SourceFed and SourceFed Nerd on YouTube. And if you're watching live, stay tuned because I'm going to be doing Under the Dome in just 2 hours. I want to thank you all so much for downloading, watching, listening, streaming. You're all the best. We'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.